And this is the third interview we're bringing into you. I was with the person, I'm going to introduce the person in a moment, but with the person I was just talking to, I mentioned this, that I, as a trainer and coach in the area of business networking, am an academician, right? And one person talking about it is not enough. We need to have more and more people come in and talk about this topic of networking. And this person today is absolutely amazing. I've barely met him. I want to be completely transparent with you. I've just met him like once or twice, briefly. We've sat next to each other in a meeting, right? But there's just something. When you meet this guy, you know this person is a practitioner of this art and science of networking. Okay, I want you to meet this person as we get started. Deep, absolute hardcore welcome to this conversation today. I know that this is going to be amazing. Great to have you here.
No, thank you for having me over. It's a pleasure. It's an important topic, and I'm glad that somebody's paying more attention to this than it has been so far. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. So Deep and I are part of TIE Committee. We're that breed of people, like other interviews that you've seen as well. We're all that breed of people who are coming together to help the community. And a core belief in that is the power of networking. Okay. Now, Deep is a great networker. You'll get to see in a couple of minutes. But before we go ahead, let me introduce you very little what I know of Deep. Okay. Deep is the founder of Sirona Hygiene Private Limited, more commonly known as, the product is Peabody, right? I'm sure, Deep, you have other products too, but this one broke the internet when it came out, right? Now, guys, the unconventional product, completely, right? Helping women stay safe, right? Deep, one conversation another day I want to have with you. What was the inspiration behind this? The courage it would have taken to break the norm in the industry. That's a whole another conversation that we have to have. Okay, but today we're going to focus on networking. Now, along with this, Deep is also an advisory board member of Carpet Couture by Rashi, right? In past, he has been in the industry of home and healthcare, right? And I believe, Deep, that led the expertise and experience to come to where you are. Okay, cool. So anything, Deep, you want to add to the introduction? Because I have not done a formal intro of yours. If there's anything worth mentioning right now, I'm sure there is a lot worth mentioning, but anything specifically to be mentioned right now, please take a moment.
Not at all. I think this conversation is more around networking, so we'll keep it to that. I'm Deep. Okay. I run Sedona. We are a brand which solves unaddressed, intimate, and menstrual hygiene issues faced by women. You've covered. Yes, we are known for Peabody, which was India's first stand-in device, and also Sirona menstrual cups, which again is used by over 1 million women. That's it. Let's go back to the topic.
Yes, let's come to the core. Cool. So one simple question. Your philosophy on networking, how would you describe that?
I'd say it's one of the most important art and science to learn, honestly, whichever way you take it. It is, I think in one line, it's the most important. It's one of the most important skills to develop if you can.
Okay.
In fact, I've penned it down as one of the key factors that helped Sirona succeed. Right. Early on when we started, we didn't raise a lot of capital, but I think just keeping in touch with people and paying attention to keeping in touch on a regular basis has got us where we are today.
Right. Lovely. While I was talking with Deep when we just came on the Zoom call, right? Deep shared one link with me. I'm looking at that right now. Let me see if I can quickly bring up the screen share and show this to you guys as well. I want everybody to go and read this, okay? The reason I'm showing you this, guys, is because I want you to understand his belief in this thing, right? That how deep he goes and how much of clarity that would be needed in order to put something like this out, okay? So give me a moment. I'm going to bring up the screen share. Okay, so this is an article on medium.com. If you've heard of medium.com, it's amazing place to find amazing content, right? I can spend whole day on Medium. I've got a pro subscription of this. Okay, now Deep has an article on this. I'm just going to show this much right now. I want you to go and read this. I just read this line, keep in touch. It's that simple, right? Deep, in our philosophy, in the content that I train people on, right? I say that the master networkers are masters of two things. Number one, of staying in touch with their network, and two, follow up. And you've just covered one of them so simply, right? This is amazing. Okay. So guys, do read this article up. You can find it on medium.com. Okay. Back to the conversation. You said it's one of the most important things. Why?
Well, these days, no matter who your customer is, I believe your customers are your customers, your team members are your customers, your even investors are your customers, your family is your customer.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're trying to sell different aspects of services to all of them, and all of them are overexposed to communication from hundreds and thousands of people, eyeing their attention, and hence, to break the clutter, you can spend crores and crores of rupees in getting their attention, or just give give it a method through which you keep in touch with all of them and let them know what you're doing, and that just makes you the top of mind for them, and that has worked wonders for us in many ways. Keeping in touch with our team members, and yes, I speak about keeping in touch, and second is the follow-up. So even in the article I mentioned how I have kept in touch with them, through constant follow-ups as well. It has worked wonders in all three, right now. If only talk about three, keeping in touch with my team members, how every town hall, sharing the minutest of details with them. What that does for me, it gives them the confidence that this is an organization they can trust. With my investors, all good updates you're sharing, but every month when you're in touch, even the bad updates you're sharing, they know that they can trust on the guy.
Yeah.
Similarly with your customers, if there's a compliment, we reply. There's a comment, we reply. So it just keeps you top of mind, and that is the most important thing today. Like if I were to ask you which is the best movie director, you'd see the guy who's the last one on your mind would be the one you'd mention instantaneously.
Yeah, right. The recall value.
The recall. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. So you're an expert to put it in words. I'm just sharing how it works.
No. I was about to do that, right? See, guys, listen, this is pretty amazing. You got to replay this. I want you to go back 2-3 minutes and re-listen to what Deep has said, right? Deep is mentioning the power of human character, right? The importance of people before the product, right? Now, people respond to people. Right. Deep has summarized networking and leadership in the last couple of minutes, right? He said he cares so much about people that he goes out and tells them the good and the bad and the ugly, right? Because that creates trust. Now, trust is your character. Now, far too often, Deep, I see people are trying to lead with their competence, right? Like they'll come to Tycon Delhi. It's happening in a couple of days, right? They'll come to Tycon Delhi, bring the card out, give the card, and start with their competence introduction. That, hi, hi, Deep. My name is Paratosh Pathak. I'm a strategic networking coach. Now, that's my competence, right? But what I loved about what you just said is how you infusing character into this, right? Staying in touch with employees. A lot of people could even say, you know what, they're my employees. Why do I need to stay in touch? I don't have to, right? And you said customers. And how you're defining customers. There's so much of synergy, Deep, in what you have said in our belief system. I'm feeling that you've actually read my content somewhere. I know you haven't. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying it's so amazing how much synergy that is there, right? So leading with the person. Okay, cool. Now, Deep, what is the value of conferences like these? You're a member of TiE. You're a charter member of TiE, right?
Yeah.
That means you are paying a lot more money than an average member, right?
Yeah.
Only to come and support, mentor other people.
Sure.
Right? Why would you do something like that?
Well, I find mentorship is a very heavy word. And I think what I'm doing at TiE is, if I could say it in humble words, is just paying it forward. TiE has done this to me in my early days. The first funding that we got, by the way, was because of TiE Delhi. They organized an event called Tie the Knot, which was on CNBC Young Turks.
Yeah.
And it was just a pitching competition. We pitched. And out of the 5 judges on the judging panel, 4 of them invested in us eventually.
Wow.
This round. And this was just a competition. There was no money to come in, but because of the platform, I was called by them to IAN, Indian Angel Network, and they're all 4 participated. So for me, I hold TiE in very high regard. And the importance of networking is, there's a saying in Hindi which says "Jungle mein mor nacha kisne dekha."
Yeah.
What it basically means is, you might be the best. You might have the best feet for dancing, as a peacock. But well, if you're dancing in the jungles, who would notice? So we were doing something which was path breaking at that we still believe we still do. But when we were starting off, we had a great idea, great product, great everything, but we didn't have the platform. So conferences like these help you get your story out, and that's all that a founder should worry about. It's just not that when I get the money, my story goes out. There are tons and tons of your network is your net worth, I read somewhere. And if you don't have a network yet, for conferences like these, get you in front of the movers and shakers of the industry, whichever industry you're in. And that's why it's important for you to be at events like these. For me, that's my reason. And now charter member, like I said, if I can contribute to anybody, I would love to do it. I find mentorship advisory very heavy words, so we'll refrain from that.
Right. Okay. That's clear humility up just coming out here. That's amazing. Right. Okay. So guys, Deep mentioned paying it forward, right? That's what networking is about, right? Somebody helps you and you help someone, right? It's so important that we take the transaction out of the mind, right, Deep? That we go, you just said that I go, it's not just when I get the check, my story gets out, right? I want to discuss on this for a moment, because what you've said is pretty amazing, but you've like said it in the passing, right? And that tells me that this is natural to you, right? It's almost like fish in the water doesn't even realize that it's in water. But let's break this down for a moment. Okay. Now, let me put a question on what you've just said a little differently. Let's say someone is coming to Tycoon Delhi, right? A lot of people would be looking for investments. A lot of people would be looking for business. A lot of people would be looking for ideas, inspiration, right? Now, if someone's coming here to Tycoon, networking will be at the core. Now, what would be your top advice, 1, 2, 3 advices to these people on how they can leverage this platform? It is truly an amazing platform, as you said, the right way. Strategically speaking, what steps would you mention?
Well, I'd say if you have someone from your industry coming there, go with a list of people that you would want to meet. Rather than just bumping into them and expecting them to open doors might be difficult. So go with the context that they can follow and maybe give you advice on. One example could be, when I went to Thai even for the first time, I saw the power, because, I was trying to do something with, so Peabody helps women stand in P, traveling becomes difficult for women. And I thought, where can I get, more customers? So I wanted to get in touch with Make My Trip, and Mr. Deep Kalra, who was a rock star, was going to be, talking at an event. So I made a list of people I had to meet, and he was on top of the list. I went, and I knew that I wouldn't have more than 10, 15, 20 seconds, of his time. So I went with a specific ask. But so, this is what I do. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. And I believe your platform can help me in this. Can you connect me to somebody? And the answer is just yes or no, rather than, sharing your entire story, which nobody will have time for. And he made that connect, and we did end up doing something together. So the advice could be have a list of people you want to meet, and let it be not more than a couple of minutes, a long conversation. Because, they are there with a different reason. They want to speak, they're there with an agenda. You can't get 20 minutes. So can your elevator pitch have specific ask, which is easy to say a yes or a no. If it's a yes, they connect. No, then we move forward. So it's not random, just exchanging notes with whoever you meet, if they're not relevant to your industry. That's what I would request if somebody is new into this. That's what I do at least.
Cool. So if I academically simplify this, right, pretty powerful.
I love this.
Input there. Yeah. Okay. So what Deep is saying is prepare beforehand, right? Don't just randomly show up, right? I say this far too many times, that one of the most important rules of networking is that you show up, but how you show up matters as much. It's not fair on your time or time of someone else that you're just randomly appearing and you're hoping that you're going to talk to people, right? Absolutely. So let's look at what Deep said. Deep said, 1, make a list, right? Deep mentioned that there's one person, Make My Trip owner, Deep Kalra, right? Deep Bajaj, Deep Kalra, okay, on the top of the list, which clearly tells that he had a hierarchy in that list. That shows the amount of preparation he has done, okay? So prepare, make the list, then approach and start with the clear conversation, because authenticity is the key. If you are trying to play around, everybody will get to know. We say this one sentence in our programs, Deep, sabko sabka sach dikhta hai. Everyone can see everyone's truth. You can't hide it. Everybody's seen the world.
Absolutely.
So if you're going out there to an event, pretending that, hey, Deep, I want to be your friend, and secretly hoping that Deep is going to invest in your business, it won't take him more than 2, 3, 4 minutes for him to find that out. So go, make sure that you express the interest, have the courage to do that. That's a very subtle point he mentioned, right? Have the courage to go and make the ask, and then please be okay with the no. It doesn't matter, right? How many no's have you gotten in your journey?
Oh, wow. Can't count.
Okay, percentage, ratio.
Well,
yes to no.
Early on, when it was just to be a cold walk-in, there were far many no's. Now, if I were to reach somebody out, like I said, I'd look at where the person is, send them a request on LinkedIn, send them an email perhaps, that this is what I'll be meeting, and then meet. But earlier, I would say, I wouldn't say no's, but I would say how many times I've had a failed connect would be about 70% earlier.
Yeah.
Now I think it has become a little better.
69.
Well, yeah, I'm an optimist at heart, my friend. So I'll take 69 as a progress.
Any given day. Absolutely. Agree. Right. So in terms of taking time to network, building a network, right? Because you're talking about staying in touch. Now that is very clearly saying it's a long-term game.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Your point of view on that?
My averages have now improved only because of keeping in touch. So I'm still, in touch with, so anybody that I've ever sought help from or gotten in touch with, I believe that it's my duty to keep the bridge always intact. So I keep them updated. And hence now, if I need any help, the chances of them replying are far higher. So at least that's in my case.
Right.
That's how it's been. Yeah.
This is getting crazy by the minute, because you're bringing in a lot of gems and just saying them in the passing. So I have to catch one of those every time and build on it. Okay. You said, Deep, right now, I keep them updated.
Yeah.
Right. Now, and I know what's the value of that, but can you simplify that, please, or expand on it? More than simplify, can you expand? What does that mean?
Well, what I mean is you should not really look at anything just being like a one-time transactional relationship. I love to say that, you should try to use things and not people. So if somebody has help, let's see how we can somehow, make it worth their while as well in some form or the other. And that can only happen if we are able to somehow put, like a method in place for keeping in touch with these guys beyond that one transaction. And you are the professor. I'm sure you'll be able to give a format to this. In my case, I do it in a very rudimentary fashion by keeping them updated about what I've done through emails and SMSs or perhaps WhatsApp now, like in a regular basis, that I need to let you know that you helped. And this is what I'm up to.
Right. This is amazing, right? So simple. You go meet people, the deal, the check, etc. may not come on one day. It may never come from the person that you're hoping for. The Deep Color example that you gave, that you went to him and you asked for introduction, and you built a network, built a relationship, leverage that, right? So guys, because Deep's time is very valuable and I'd asked for a specific amount of time, I'm going to start closing this now, but please go through this once again, right? You're learning from people who have traveled the journey that you just might be on right now, okay? And the potential of these very simple concepts that these speakers are talking about is game-changing. It's game-changing, right? So let's summarize what Deep has said. Deep has said, number one, it's a long-term game, right? Stay in touch, simple. Philosophy is that it's one of the most important things, that he cares about people across. He's not just limited focusing his focus, if I can say that, on just people who cut him checks. He's just staying in touch with people, keeping them updated, playing a long-term game, right? And most importantly, come to TiECon prepared. TiECon Delhi is waiting for you, but come prepared, right? Deep, any closing notes? This is amazing. Any closing notes, any one advice, anything that you'd like to say?
You couldn't have said it better, my friend. So I think it's a great summary. I'll see you guys at TiECon.
Lovely. We're looking forward to seeing you there. right? Take care, guys. God bless. Thank you, Deep. Thank you so much for taking the time. Great to have you.
Any time, buddy. So looking forward to meeting, and I've sent you some of these things which I genuinely believe in. So whenever you get the time, would love to hear your thoughts on what do you think about it. And mentors also is another word that I'm very scared of for using. So my LinkedIn doesn't say that. And it's because of this that, there's so many people out there who just overtly abuse this word.
Yeah.
Mentors, so one needs to watch out for this. So yeah, network, but also be careful.
Lovely. Awesome. Thank you, Deep. Great.
Cheers. Bye. I'll see you in April then. Oh, well, I'll see you in March and then in April as well.
Right.
Bye.
Absolutely.
Bye.